Folkestone is an art school.
This is a painting by my father, and it's a quirky painting. Why on earth did he put this radio behind all these objects here? Only if you're an aficionado of 1970s radios would you know that that was a Roberts radio. Here is a toaster. This is a particular kind of toaster which had a flap that opened up, and the bread toasted on one side and then it toasted on the other side almost automatically when you put that flap up. Really dangerous it was. And I said to my son, do you know what that is? And he said, is it one of those 8-track cassette recorders? I said, no, it's a toaster, son. This is a double boiler. Who knows what a double boiler is unless you're an artist or you make a lot of custard. This is a tin. Tins can have anything in them. And the only thing that reveals itself is this Saxa table salt. It's a really desultory collection of objects to spend almost 2 years making a painting of. And so one of the things that's interesting about art is making beauty out of the banal, spending ages constructing something that's really beautiful out of something that's really ordinary. And then the other thing is it's all about appearances.
Seagull, you are an artist.
So I'm making a drawing now of a slightly bizarre still life, and really the point about doing this is to show that it's all about images. So, I mean, I think my father's painting that this is a sort of reference to has a kind of understated humour that's so mild you don't really realise that it's happened. But what he's doing is making a painting where you can't work out what's really going on. But of course art is all about working out what's going on and being able to see it and see things for what they are. And artists can hide things for what they really are, and they can reveal what things really are, and they can also parody the idea of objects having function. All still lifes say to the viewer, please believe in me. Please believe in these objects and the artifice of the artist making something. All art is a kind of practical philosophy. Philosophers, French theorists in particular, have done a lot of work undermining language, saying that language doesn't necessarily mean what we think it means. And actually artists are at that business all the time as well. Because what we're doing is saying, it looks like a tin, but it doesn't have the right label on it. And in fact, the label on the tin might be completely misleading. Like keeping poison in an R. White's lemonade bottle.
It's your studio thought lab. It's your studio thought lab.
So this is a drawing of a microwave. It's a microwave that one of my students, Calvin Sy, who's actually in the Apathy band, decoratively painted, that he found in the street. And I'm painting the back of it, so you wouldn't possibly be able to see, work out from my drawing, that that was a microwave. I'm painting a cheapo cassette player Do you remember what cassettes were? There were whole gangs of hipsters collecting cassettes as if they were 78 records. And I've upended it so it looks like a skyscraper. And then there's the actual tin that my father painted in the 1980s. And it's faded rather a lot. And now I'm drawing the sea captain.
Why am I doing this? What really interests me? What drives me?
And the sea captain.
What is this about? What is this about? If this was a film, what film would it be?
And if I put the railway line in, we can imagine that this is a new architectural scheme for Folkestone. One day these will be office buildings. High capitalism will come to Folkestone and build a stunning, gleaming new central business district. Of course, by then all the artists would have had to move somewhere else. Perhaps Ramsgate. There'll always be an artist quarter in Folkestone. Here it is. I'm drawing it.
Make it crazy! Folkestone is an art school.
So this is a still life, and it's a still life made out of bronze vegetables. What this sculpture might be reveals more about you than it does about the sculpture. The sculpture is just an abstract relationship joined together of vegetables that I bought down Whitechapel Market. I've named it Madame Mao, and I made a whole series of the sculptures which were named after the women who were married to a lot of the people who were wiped out actually by Mao in the Cultural Revolution. My idea was that they were thought examination sculptures, so that you would think about them, come up with some ideas about them, maybe write those down, and then maybe some political cadre would come along and lock you up because you thought it looked like a donkey. So your homework is to make a still life, make it interesting, make it crazy, and then make an artwork from that still life.